Well, Birds of Prey is out, and obviously it's a movie I have really been looking forward to, so does it deliver? On most points, yeah, absolutely. Hey everybody, Ryan Reed here. Yeah, so I actually just got back from seeing Birds of Prey. I saw it opening night, and I gotta say, I had a blast with this movie. Now, I'm one of the few people who really enjoyed Suicide Squad as a movie. I've actually got a video on that coming out hopefully soon here in the next couple of days. But when this movie was announced, I was really excited for it. It took some time to, develop the script and get everything set. But when the first trailer for this came out, I was excited. I really enjoy this kind of style that both Suicide Squad and this movie have. And although they're very different, they both have this kind of like pop style. I mean, that's kind of like a very vague way to describe it, but the movie likes to use, both the movies actually like to use these splashes of color and know when to kind of like throw in the right type of music and the soundtrack and everything like that. So they're very kind of like energetic pop style movies. And for the most part, people seem to agree that this is a better movie or a better executed movie than Suicide Squad. I really like Suicide Squad, so for me, they're kind of even. It's tough to say which one I enjoy more at this moment. I might be able to say that later on down the road, but at the moment, just looking at Birds of Prey isn't enjoyable. Yeah, absolutely. Margot Robbie is back as Harley Quinn, of course, and her performance is just as energetic, just as crazy, and actually she gets to do more in this movie because it's an R-rated movie, so they can kind of show her being a bit more extreme and breaking people's bones and all kinds of crazy stuff. The action in this movie is fantastically executed. It's really well choreographed. We get to see some things and that kind of we didn't get to see sides of Harley in Suicide Squad because that was more of an ensemble piece. This is as well, but the main focus is on Harley here. And the basic plot, I won't get into too much just to kind of avoid spoilers, but if you've seen some of the trailers, you know that it's also got some other characters in it from the Birds of Prey. You've got Huntress is in it, and Rosie Perez plays a character in it, and a couple other people, and it's really fun. I gotta say, my favorite part of this movie probably is Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. He is both hilarious and way over the top in a good way. He's chewing the scenery, but he's also very scary at moments. This movie's not afraid to go dark. It is an R-rated film, and although most of it is very kind of poppy, energetic, fun, over the top, tongue-in-cheek style humor and action, there are moments where there are legit threats in this movie, and they're very dark, and the movie earns those moments, I found. Overall, the cinematography is great. It kind of lives in the same universe that Suicide Squad did, but it's shot slightly differently. This is more kind of a run and gun style film, and that's the way it felt to me. At least the way it was shot was kind of different. It was Suicide Squad, I think, was more kind of I don't want to use the phrase cinematic because I don't think that's fair to this movie, but it was more kind of grounded. It was more about painting these images, whereas this movie is about kind of guerrilla style filmmaking almost, where you're with the characters and you get this very kind of, even though it's supposed to be Gotham, I believe the film was probably shot in California. It looked like LA, possibly, I'm not 100%, but it's got that very kind of like grounded, dirty feel that LA has, and since you're dealing with a lot of criminals in this movie, I thought that worked really well. Overall, most of the jokes land. I think there are a few that maybe fall a little flat, but overall, the humor, I think, is a big success in this film. There are moments where I've heard some people kind of compare it to Deadpool, and yeah, I could see that. I mean, definitely DC has not shied away from kind of taking what Marvel has done and trying to do their own version of it, but I think that does a disservice to this movie, just because the character kind of talks to the camera, and there are moments where you maybe have drawings on screen or things like that where they kind of break the fourth wall. Deadpool, of course, did that, but I actually found this movie very different as it went along. The beginning, kind of, you could see it was that kind of tone, but again, calling this movie just Deadpool with Harley Quinn would be a huge disservice to this movie. I actually think this movie has a lot more to offer than just a Deadpool movie. I think the film is very well executed. It's a lot of fun. It's very short, too. I mean, overall, in comparison to most of the DC Universe movies, I think it's the shortest one. It's a hour 49 minutes. That's with credits included and stuff. So and it's got a quick pace. It moves along. If I had any major complaints about the movie, very minor things, but I think the movie kind of has trouble finding its footing at times in terms of developing where the plot is going. I never lost sight of it, but the movie does, as a stylistic choice, it does a lot of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, which is great. It's very entertaining, but because of that, it takes a while to kind of establish everybody, all our characters, all our motives, all our plots, everything like that. So it takes a little bit, but once that kind of all connects, the movie works well. And even in those moments, I didn't feel a disconnect. That's just me kind of being nitpicky and saying, oh, well, maybe a little, disconnect here. But that's also something Suicide Squad did, which, I don't mind in either movie. I think it's about building character. And that's really what this movie is. The plot is kind of secondary. It's there, but really we're enjoying this world of characters, of villains, of this underbelly of Gotham, and it does that incredibly well. So again, that's not a complaint, that's just if I had to find something kind of, nitpicky and small, I could say the movie can be, for some people, maybe a bit disjointed. I never had a problem with that, but overall, Harley Quinn. Well, technically it's Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn. Is it worth seeing? Yeah, it was a blast. If you really like this character, you're going to have a good time. If you really like the DCU and you want to kind of see that expand, you're going to have a good time, I think. If you didn't like Suicide Squad, and you particularly didn't like Margot Robbie in Suicide Squad, this movie, I don't know if that's going to change your mind. It might, but really her performances do they do connect. They are the same character. It's not something drastically different. And I will say, too, this is a direct sequel to Suicide Squad, in a way. They make reference to that movie a couple times throughout. So if somebody was hoping that they would just completely erase that, sorry, you're not going to get that. Suicide Squad is here to stay, and especially tied in with this movie. But yeah, overall, really, really fun. It's a blast. The action's fun. It's over the top. It's violent. It's crazy. I highly recommend it, especially if you enjoy these characters and you enjoy kind of the side of DC we don't always see. I like diving into villains. It's something I talk about in my upcoming video. I love the villains. I love DC's villains. I think they're honestly better than the heroes. And so getting more of that in this movie, just fantastic. I had a blast. So let me know, did you enjoy Birds of Prey? What did you think? Tell me in the comments down below. Until then, if you want to check out some other videos I've got, check out Fright Films, which is my horror movie review show. I've got some new episodes that come out as well. More impromptu reviews. I've got some food reviews, all kinds of stuff. So check out the channel, subscribe if you can, ring that bell as all the YouTubers say to get notified, and I'll see you next time. Bye.